Hey, so today I'm going to be doing a video on sand comps. So I'm going to go from the most basic sand comps to, you know, all the way down to carpet comps. And this video will show you how to build each kind and why they're useful, why each one's useful. So yeah, so let me explain what a sand comp is in the first place. Um, Let me just go over here. Probably should have started over here. But so this was I just did a cannon competition. Um, Obviously won it, right? Because I'm the best cannoner. But no, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so what happened was I made a sand or so before I made a sand comp. So all of the sand would get pushed out into here into the top of this barrel, and then this TNT will boost it all over here, so it's all compressed into one block. So this is a 60 stacker, so all 60 sand is compressed into this one block up here, and then it's shot out to the wall. So yeah, so let me show you, sand comps. So first thing to know about sand comps is when you push out sand, it turns into an entity block. So let me show you here. As you can see, while it's falling, that's an entity block, and that means it can be pushed by TNT while it's falling. So let me show you one more time. See, it's falling. So let me show you it in an actual setting. So what will happen is we have our TNT placed here. 2 ticks later, we have our TNT here, and then our sand is pushed out, and pushed out up there, and then this TNT will go off first. This TNT will go up first, push it to here. This TNT will go off and push it to here. You don't need, the reason why you have like 2 different like things is because like it's instead of building your sand comp like horizontal to your cannon like for bigger comps, you can push it out forward and then push it out to the side, so it doesn't take up as much space. So yeah, let me show you this in action. So as you can see, that one went off first, that one went off second, and it's separated by 2 redstone ticks. You don't need to separate it by 2, you can separate it by 1, but because this doesn't have much power, it takes 2 redstone ticks for it to fly to this wall, and then for this booster to go off. So it takes 2 redstone ticks from the sand to get from in this state to in this state, and then this one will go off and push it. But for sand comps to have more power, it'll only take one redstone tick. So yeah. Just so you know, the reason why you have so much delay over here is because redstone goes off in 4 sorry, not redstone. TNT blows up in 4 seconds. And each redstone tick is 0.1 seconds. So if you multiply it, 0.1 times 40 is 4. So I have 10 full repeaters here. I have it taken off a little bit to let time for the piston to push. But 10 full repeaters equals 40 seconds. Sorry, 4 seconds, which is the same amount of time TNT takes to blow up. So this TNT blows up right when this sand is pushed, as you can see. So that's, this isn't really, this only pushes what, like 5 sand. So you don't really want to use this because it's TNT inefficient. And I'll show you a better way, which actually, I'll show you a bunch of other ways to do that. So this was like the first real, in a sense, sand comp that was created, and this is the Leon sand comp pretty much. So pretty much what you'd have is you have pistons push out all the sand into here, and then it'll be shot out the wall. So let me show you an example, but so wow, this doesn't look like a Leon. This is how Leon's acted, so it'd go like that. Yeah, so not much. See, pretty much what would happen is you have a cobweb up here, or you have cobwebs down here, and you have a cobweb up here. So what would happen is this, just so you know, when you have a piston that pushes up like this will be important. it's called, I gotta do it down here. When you have a piston push up like this with a block, do you see how it'd have to be a sticky piston? But as you can see, the redstone current is on and off, like it barely flashes, like opposed to this. If I go like this, it'll stay on for as long as the repeater is activated. See, as you can see, it's much longer. But when you have a piston push up like this, it goes very, very short. So that's what's happening. So this piston right here that has a cobweb is being quick pulsed. So it's breaking the cobwebs, letting the sand fall into these cobwebs. And then once this, right before this power goes off, the pistons are pushing it into the barrel. So yeah, it's not efficient because every time you shoot, these cobwebs are going to break and you're going to have to replace them. So someone's, that's the first issue. The second issue is that you can't really stack much sand up here. Like, it's just not an efficient method. So this is the next thing that was developed. I'm not going through every sand comp, but pretty much every major sand comp is covered in this video. So to be able to, this uses almost the same method, except it just allows for more sand to be dropped. So let me explain what's happening. So this will be ticked off, right? Your power. So let's have your power here. And then what's happening is you use a clock. So I'll explain how clocks work in a sec. You have a clock go off and it'll deactivate this redstone. And so these pistons will retract, allowing the sand to fall. So all the sand will fall onto these cobwebs. And then, like I showed you earlier, you have a quick pulse here. So what will happen with the quick pulse, it'll push the sand up into like right where the cobwebs are. And then it'll fall back down really fast. So the pistons will go up and down really fast. So while that's happening, the sand will be suspended in midair for like a little bit of time, and then these boosters will go off, pushing all the sand. So before we go into that, I'm going to show you how clocks work, because clocks really helped improve cannoning, because you were able to open pistons longer. So how you build a clock is you have, just go here. And as you can see, it will go off for as long as these comparators are activated, and it will allow the sand to fall on this block, because you'll stack your sand on top of here, on top of the piston, and then it'll retract and let it all fall. So this isn't pretty much to make a longer clock, all you got to do is just add more comparators, and you can do this as long as you want. So this will be an even longer clock than the one before. Go on for a while, as you can see, and you can add even more, make it longer, So that's pretty much what's happening. So this sand you'll see it in action. So let's see, sand's falling, that was activated, and then it'll push up quickly and fall back down because it's quick pulsed by this piston. And while the sand is barely in midair, the TNT will boost it to the cannon. So the reason again why this is inefficient is because, as you can see, you need to replace the cobwebs every time. So every time you're going to be breaking the cobwebs, or you're going to have to be replacing the cobwebs. So someone was like, yeah, okay, we need a better method, right? Because no one wants to be sitting here placing cobwebs every single time you want to fire. So that's when this cannon was created. I don't have it fully working perfectly because you still don't want to be using this method, and I'll show you why. But pretty much what happens is you have your comparator go off, and it'll just rapid fire push these pistons. Here, let me explain it first. So this will open, right? Your sand will be laying on here and inside the cobweb. Then what will happen is the pistons will extend and retract really fast and push all the sand out into the barrel, and then it'll be shot out. So the problem with this is that on some servers, like, it gets a little bit glitchy, especially with all like the pistons pushing, especially back then in the old days. But yeah, so you have your first booster go off, and then if you saw my infinite, or my booster video, you'll know that a tick later this will be powered. So you have this first powered, a tick later you'll have this powered. So let me show you the sand, and the sand will fall or be pushed out. So then we pushed out here. So you'll have this TNT go off, boost the sand a little bit far, and then you have this go off, and you'll boost the sand all the way into the cobweb. So yeah, let me show you. So as you could hear, and like I said, it's not working perfectly because you still don't want to be using this method, but let me show you a better view from this side. You see how it's retracting and extending very fast, because what happens is the sand will be here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll show you it visually what happens, and it's so you see that each piston push pushes the sand farther out. And it stopped working because there's sand already in the cannon, but you get the point, right? So this is like not the best method, but it worked at the time. You know, it was a way of using reusable cobwebs. So this is a big thing. Cobwebs got like super expensive, so people needed a new way. And oh yeah, I'll show you guys how to water everything after this. But it has the same clock as I showed you earlier. And then this is called the one push method. So this is a much bigger cannon. So let me explain everything that's happening. So first, you'll have so you'll activate your button, right? And you'll travel along this redstone, and you'll have this booster go off first. So let me go inside the cannon and show you. So both of these are connected, by the way. So you have these go off first, okay? And then one tick later, you'll have this power. One tick later, you'll have this power. One tick later, you'll have this power. And I'll show you in the back. They're all separated by one redstone tick. So next what will happen is the sand will start to fall. So the sand will fall into this cobweb like this. And then next what will happen is you have some repeaters going into this torch, which will activate this torch on. So it'll push, this piston will push all of the sand, the sand that fell, and this one row of sand here out into the barrel, and then all of the infinite boosters will blow up, and then this will blow up, and it'll shoot it into the main cannon. And it's the same for this side. You just have it too wide so that you can have more sand fall. But let me show you. So let's get rid of this TNT here. Oh shit, I clicked the wrong cannon. Alright, so let's fire. And as you can see, so you have this one row right here that only this one line that only pushes one row at a time. And yeah, so also what's good about this is it can do faster speeds than that cannon. But still not the fastest, but we'll get to that. Anyway, so as you can see, this one row is being pushed out, but it's pushing all of this sand. So that's why it's uneven, because you're only really holding. Look here, you'll see from this top view. You have the first row fall, and then it'll all be pushed out there. So, yeah. So this is not a bad method. If you're not trying to go for speed, then this is, you know, a good, reliable method. Very, very easy to wire and to build. Let me just show you what's going on. So you'll have your when you power it, these pistons will double extend, which is why it pushes it over the cobweb into the barrel. So instead of everything staying on the cobweb, like here, the pistons will double extend, so it pushes everything into here. And then while it's in free fall, it'll be shot out by these boosters. And again, these infinite boosters you see are explained in my boosters video. So go check that out if you haven't seen it. Alright, so now we're going to get to the carpet comp. So for the carpet comp, let me show you the basics of what's happening. So instead of putting everything on a cobweb, you're putting everything suspended on a carpet that's pushing back and forth really fast, and then you're shooting it out the same. So the reason why you want to do a carpet comp is because you can do much faster speeds than cobweb comps. So let me explain what's happening. So you have your signal, and you go into a clock. So remember how I showed you have this clock, and then you can keep extending it to add more to like extend the clock. So that's what I did here. So it's 4 instead of 2, and it's going into this redstone torch. So when this deactivates, it will deactivate this piston. So it'll push the redstone block back to here, which will activate this side and push this piston out. And it'll just go, because this is 3 redstone ticks, and this is 3 redstone ticks plus 1.5 redstone ticks, which is a piston. It's offset, so as one retracts, one extends. So it keeps going back and forth. So let me show you. So as you can see, the carpet's moving. And the interesting thing about carpets is when you put sand on it while it's moving. Let me fire it. When you put an entity, it's actually, while it glitches out a little bit, you can see that, it's actually staying an entity until the carpet stops moving. So while it's an entity block, you can shoot it out into the sand comp. And just so you know, this isn't going to be, I'm going to do a whole separate video on just making sand comps. But I encourage you all to try to make your own with this concept before I make a video on it. If you can't do it, that's fine. I'll have a video up on it. But it's good if you guys want to try this yourselves, because it'll help you learn more than just copying and pasting it, which I see a lot of people do. And, you know, I understand. It's a lot easier, but if you really are interested in cannoning, you should definitely try it yourself first. And you just have a row of pistons all doing the same thing with all these carpets on. And you'll have infinite boosters down here pushing all of the sand into your cannon. So let me show you one more time. You can see these pistons going back and forth, and you have your sand on top of it. You know, it looks glitched out, but it's, you know, it's on top there. And the reason you have your ladders here is so that you can first place a carpet, and second, so it doesn't glitch through to the bottom. So yeah, let me show you in action with a full thing. So pretty much the only thing different from this one is that you have this top part which extends the pistons so that the sand will fall, or sorry, retracts the pistons so that both of these rows will fall, and it has infinite boosters to boost the sand. Other than that, it's just a longer sand comp than comp than the one I just showed you. So let's go on with, let me show what's happening with the boosters. So you'll have, first you'll have this tick off, and it'll go here, okay? And then you'll have this row tick off, this row tick off, and this row tick off, okay? And it's the same for the other side. I'm just, you know, for demonstration purposes, I'm just showing you one. So as the sand falls, it'll be pushed by this one first, and then this row, and this row, and it'll be pushed all the way into there. And again, look at my infinite boosters video to have a more in-depth explanation of why. So at this state, the sand will end up here, right? It'll end up here on both sides, because you have this side too that's being powered. Next, you have this one little comp thing, and what this does, you don't need it, but for bigger things you want it so that you can shoot farther, you'll have more exposure. So this goes off, and it pushes everything closer to the main booster. So everything's here now on, like, it can't go past this ladder. It's all here, and it'll actually be one up, but and then this will go off, and it'll shoot all the sand back over here, and then it'll fall. So the only reason you have this is so that it like compresses it more so that all the sand can be shot out farther. Again, look at my boosters video to see why. But so this is going, or sorry, this part right here is going off one later than this, and you'll be able to see that. So see how this is on 2 ticks, and this is on 1 tick, and they're both connecting from the infinite boosters, so they're both coming from the same place. So again, I'm going to do a full explanation on this in a different video, but I encourage you guys to do it yourselves, or try it yourselves. So as you can see, I can do another shot, and I'll show you everything. And as you can see, it looks like it's falling down, but that's just a visual glitch. Happens in every server. And yeah, so this is definitely the most efficient way right now. It's not the easiest way to build, so if you're not going for speed, definitely do something more like this. And yeah, so the reason why you have obby here instead of normal cobble is so that when this piston like pushes back out, it doesn't and if like something happens like with lag, obsidian is unmovable by pistons, so it won't like push the block back here, and then, or it would be stone, it wouldn't like push it back here and like mess up the cannon. So always use obsidian when you're building your sand comps, just in case the piston's messed up, so that yeah, because it's unmovable. So I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, now let me show you how to water. So pretty much wherever dispenser is, you want to put water. So let me show you the water. So you want to water this booster. You want to water these. So on servers that on servers that TNT does not flow in water, you only have to place 1 block like this. So like most servers have it so that you only have to place 1 block. But on, just to be safe, some servers have it so that TNT flows in water, and if you have that, just make them all source blocks. So just put water in every single one of these piston areas. And here. And then you also want it on this booster. So pretty much everywhere where TNT is dispensed, you want to put water. And that's it. That's how you water sand comp. That will pretty much be the same for every single one you build, or you make, or you water, whatever you're doing. For this one, you just put it in here. You know, wherever dispensers are, like I said. Wherever TNT can end up, you just want to water. So yeah, if I missed anything, or you want me to go over anything in more detail, which I will be going over for the carpet comp, just let me know. And just trying to think, is there anything else? I don't think so. So yeah, if there's anything else, like I said, just let me know. I'll go into carpet comps in more detail, but try to build your own. You know, try to use this method. And you got it. You got it. The one thing I will tell you is that you want to either quick pulse you want to quick pulse like the extenders here, or you want to quick pulse your button. I usually quick pulse my button, but I'll go into some more explanation when I do my carpet comp video. So yeah, see ya.